Alright, this is for the ladies, but those of you guys that don't mind wearing floral fragrances with loads of vanilla, then this would be for you as well. But today I'm talking about the latest release from the House of Mugler, Alien Goddess. It's really good, guys. So if you want to find out all about this one, mostly positives with a few negatives, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Yes, this one actually, when I first heard about Alien Goddess, I thought, okay, I'm kind of getting burnt out on Mugler. They're not doing the best releases. I wasn't that excited about it. So I was recently at Nordstrom's and I got curious. So I went and smelled it and I was like, whoa, that smells really, really good. It reminded me of a few fragrances and I'm going to tell you all about it. So that's why I bought this one. One of the negatives about it though is that it's really, really expensive for a designer fragrance. 90 milliliter for $170. Definitely a negative. I don't know what the original Eau de Parfum version of Alien was when it first launched, but this is up there with niche prices. Is it niche quality? Either way though, I'm really enjoying this one. I'm wearing it and I really love the way it smells. It's vanilla once again. Vanilla is having a moment. It's like vanilla is really coming out a lot in different fragrances. This one's definitely solid. It's Alien Goddess from the House of Mugler. I'll let you know all about it, but before I do, if this is your first time tuning into the channel, you still haven't subscribed to the channel, please do click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So should we talk about the negatives first or the positives? Let's go ahead and talk about the positives and we'll come back to the negatives at the end of the video. And I was at one time a really, really huge fan of Mugler. I loved this house for a lot of their fragrances. They did do some great fragrances. The men's fragrances were great. They had all these unique takes on a men. Loved them. Most of them I loved. And you know, the women's fragrances were great. I first smelled Angel dating back to the mid-90s and it's still a great smell. Although recently somebody wrote to me and said it's been changed. Is this true? Has the new version of Angel completely changed? Let me know, put a comment down. I haven't smelled it under the L'Oreal takeover, but this Alien Goddess, brand new release, it's a flanker to Alien, which is one of the negatives I'm going to talk to you about. In 2021, they've done a really, really great job with it. So 2021 launch, I would call this an amber floral woody fragrance. Perfumers, there's two, Marie Salamagne and Nathalie Lorson, both of which are from Firmenich. And this retails 90 milliliter for $170. And this is a refillable bottle, so there is a refill sold and there are other sizes available as well. And as I said, that's one of the negatives I wanted to talk to you about. But for notes here, we've got Bergamot, Coconut for top notes, heart notes, Jasmine, Grandiflorum, and Heliotrope. Base notes, Madagascar, Bourbon Vanilla, and Cashmere. So not a lot of notes are credited with this one, but they do kind of, you know, feature the main prominent note that Alien's known about, which is the jasmine. And the original fragrance was created by Dominique Ropion as well of IFF. Now they switched over to two perfumers who work under Firmenich, Marie Salamagne, Nathalie Lorson. So I've been talking about Nathalie Lorson quite a bit on the channel lately. This is done amazingly great. You know, they've done a great job with it. It smells really, really great. It also is a very, very long-lasting fragrance, and I like what they've done with it. First initial spray I smelled, I thought, whoa, that smells like Beach Walk. Not identical, but it reminded me of Beach Walk from Maison Margiela. Then I thought, okay, Maison Margiela under L'Oreal, Mugler is now under L'Oreal. Are they using similar kind of fragrances and, you know, making them or changing them under different brands? No, I don't think so, but it does hint at Beach Walk from Maison Margiela, because for me I find this to be ultra beachy. It's that kind of beachy kind of a fragrance. Then it also kind of reminds me of Juliette Hazagan's Vanilla Vibes. That's also very beachy, less floral and also more salty, and I don't get the saltiness here, but in the end, it's a kind of a beachy vanillic experience, which is really, really delicious. Really delicious. So the fragrance sprays on with the bergamot. It's citrusy, but not a lot of bergamot, and coconut is right here as well. This is when it starts reminding you of the beachiness. It's like right off the bat, it's kind of a sunny, sunshiny, coconutty citrus combo. That smells great. You know, it's a good start to the fragrance, and the way that they've combined the notes has been done perfectly. You're starting to smell the jasmine. The jasmine is what is key for this Flanker series of fragrances. Alien is known for jasmine. It's here, but to me I felt like it's not as prominent. But there is some floral touch there, a floralcy, mixed with heliotrope, powdery. It is a powdery fragrance, and lightly almondy. I think these notes all work beautifully together so far, with what we have at the top with the bergamot and the coconut, and what we have in the heart with the jasmine, and then of course the heliotrope. They do blend very, very beautifully together, and I'm enjoying what I'm smelling. Finally, in the base, Madagascar bourbon vanilla, or the bourbon vanilla, comes in, mixed with that cashmerean note. Cashmerean is this amber, woody, musky kind of a synthetic note that's here, blended perfectly. Smelling really, really great, and a great composition. Now, the fragrance to me doesn't necessarily scream very original, because it reminds me of other fragrances. So when fragrances remind me of other fragrances, it means I've already smelled it, right? Yes, that's exactly what it means. But this is done so well, so well, that I can't get enough of the way it smells. Here's a couple of other things. I wore this 3 times before I'm shooting this video. The first time I wore it, it was warmer. Vanilla got a lot sweeter, and for me the experience is more vanilla, less beachy. First initial test in the store though, as I said, which is not the time I wore it, was more beachy. It was a cooler day, and I was inside in an air-conditioned store, so I got that beachy vibe right away. But when you turn it around and when it's warmer outside, or you're in a warmer environment, or it's warm, the vanilla sweetens up and opens up. It becomes more vanilla. So it does have sides depending on the temperature, your body temperature, or what is the temperature outside. You're going to experience the fragrance differently. There are times I smell the fragrance, which is vanilla, but it was not as sweet. And there's also times that I smelled the vanilla where it was really sweet. So those all come into play here. But I think they've done a really, really great job with this fragrance, and I love what I'm smelling it. It's vanillic, it's floral, not necessarily ultra floral, woody, and you know, musky as well. There are definitely these musky touches, and then ambery touches in the dry down. That's all the good stuff about this fragrance, and I think this is very, very trendy. Again, it's not something I've not smelled before. As I said, beach walk, vanilla vibes kind of come into play here, or any other kind of coconutty vanillic fragrances, warm ones. I could also go to the extent of saying something like suntan lotiony kind of vanillic fragrances. Those all come into mind or come into play here when we're comparing this fragrance as a smell that's not necessarily original. But I think the perfumers, Nathalie, Lorson, and Marie Salamagne, have done a great job. And again, I'll go back to saying this. It's a creative direction that Mugler went with, and they approved such thing, which is a good thing, because this now makes me reassured that they do have good fragrances in mind, with Angel Nova being a disappointment for me. This, on the other hand, even though I've smelled many, many times before, I feel like they're on the right track, and they're going to potentially give us some great releases. That's what I think about it. More positive about this fragrance, it's very, very long lasting. I'm shocked at how great this performs on me. Literally shocked, but I think I can see why. Vanilla already is a note that lingers on forever. Not forever, but a long time. Mixed with the cashmerean note, the synthetic note, the woody, musky, ambery kind of a direction, I think definitely is something that does last quite a bit of time. So that is also definitely a positive for this fragrance. And I enjoyed it. As I said, I really, really enjoyed it. First initial blast just kind of like did it for me. When it took me to that beachy direction, I thought, you know what? I really like this. I'm digging coconuts lately. Here we go, talking about coconuts again. And that's the first vibe I got. Then it became the floral vanilla thing. And I think it's really, really a delicious creation. So here are the negatives. I don't think this has anything to do with the original Alien. Not whatsoever. So that is a negative, very much so, because I'm not reminded of Alien whatsoever. It doesn't smell like Alien whatsoever, not at all. Whereas we had Angel Nova, and that did not smell like Angel whatsoever. This doesn't either. Whereas Angel Nova was not very pleasant for me. I didn't really enjoy that fragrance. Here, I really am enjoying the fragrance, even though it doesn't remind me of Alien whatsoever. There is a little jasmine touch here, but the jasmine doesn't smell like anything that I've smelled before in Alien. So this is a complete other fragrance. Basically, Mugler is banking on the whole success of Alien, which is kind of a given. They're going to continue doing that. They actually gave us a great fragrance with it, which I will forgive them for, but I think they need to come up with a new fragrance. They could have just called this Goddess, put it in a new bottle, and given it to us, but they put it in the Alien bottle and called it Alien Goddess. The other negative, and then this is the last negative, and of course nothing can be all very positive. 90 ml for $170. That is freaking outrageous. This is a designer. A designer. They have launched Alien Oud Magisto, Alien Musk, I forgot the exact name of that one, back many years ago. Those retailed for $170 suggested retail, and it featured these kind of like more, expensive notes. Here, full-on retail is $170 for a 90 ml. This is almost going to $200. In fact, when I paid for this, it was almost $100. I think it was $190 with sales tax. So this is a really, really pricey fragrance for a designer. I'm shocked, literally shocked, for almost $200 for a bottle of Alien. Anybody think this is too high? Thankfully, I've become friends. I try and become very nice and friendly with my sales associates. I get on their, phone lists. They constantly text me and say, we've got this, we've got that, we've got this sale, we've got that sale. So I've kind of become friendly. And several days after, he texted me and said, guess what? Mugler Alien is on sale now. I'm going to go ahead and give you a discount on it, and you'll see it reflected on your credit card, which is what he did. So I believe I got back about $24 to $28. I didn't really look, but at least that was a savings for me. So it turned out to be about 149 something. Maybe it was like 152 with tax, but still, I think the price is really, really high for this fragrance. So that's definitely a negative against this fragrance. I don't know why they've priced it so high. Maybe the ingredients are too expensive. Vanilla can be very expensive. Jasmine can be very expensive. But the rest of the notes, I never thought that they would be very expensive. Cashmere and a synthetic, it could be expensive, but I don't know. But what do you guys think? 90 ml for $170? Is that too high? Let me know. Put a comment down. This is a refillable bottle. I don't know how it is. I've never really taken it apart. Maybe we should try it. Here we go. Yep, this is it. There it is. I guess you can pop the refill over it like this. I don't know how it works, but either way, it is a refillable bottle, so the refills will be less expensive, but very, very pricey for a designer fragrance. It's mostly positive, but with negatives here. What are your thoughts on this particular release? Have you smelled something like this before? Do you like the idea, the vanillic fragrance, the kind of beachy, coconutty fragrance with vanilla? Let me know, put some comments down. And also go try out Beach Walk and Vanilla Vibes. They're not identical. As I said, fragrances will remind you of one from another. When you put them side by side and smell them next to each other, you'll notice a lot of differences. Definitely there are differences here, but it reminded me of those two fragrances right off the bat, which is a great take on a fragrance. I'm glad they did this. This actually kind of gives me confidence for Mugler to see what they're going to come up with in the future. I don't know what's going on with the men's collection of fragrances. A lot of men's fragrances have been discontinued. Pure Havane has been. Also, the Less Exceptions collection has been discontinued as well, I think, because there's none on their website except for two, which were the most latest releases. So all of them have been removed. I don't know what they're going to do. Hopefully L'Oreal has some good things planned for the brand. Maybe they're going to launch a brand new series of men's fragrances, because I think, from what I heard, the Amen collection, all Amen fragrances are discontinued, and this is all very up in the air. I'm not 100% sure this is true, but I'm hoping that they're going to do some good stuff. If they do things like this, which is a great release, I think it's done great. It smells great. It lasts a long time. I have some faith in the brand, and of course the their parent company. One other thing I heard earlier in the year, I can't disclose my resource, but someone that worked in corporate for L'Oreal, I don't know how true this is. I heard that L'Oreal has their own factories where they produce the stuff. Some brands that are under, not L'Oreal, Mugler does, is in France. Mugler has their own factories that they produce the fragrances, and some brands under L'Oreal do not. So the ones that do not have their own factories will most likely get like major reformulations. But then I'm seeing all these changes happening. I don't know how true this is. So let me know if anybody has any info on this brand, what they're doing with their fragrances, especially for men. But I'm thinking positively because they've done such a great job with Alien Goddess, with a very, very high price tag. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Alien Goddess from the House of Mugler. What are your thoughts? Let me know, put some comments down. And I know you ladies want me to do more reviews for feminine fragrances, and I have at least 1 or 2 more coming up very soon. Stay tuned for those. But I wanted to get this review out since I had this fragrance for a week now, and I have really, really been enjoying it. It is feminine targeted, but of course, Beach Walk and Juliet Has a Gun's Vanilla Vibes are, I believe both of those are unisex shared fragrances, so even though this is targeted to the ladies, I think men can totally pull it off. Yes, it's vanillic, it's beachy, it's kind of suntan lotiony, but I think if you're confident enough, you should be able to pull it off, because I hardly get any jasmine with this one. Not much at all. Anyway, Alien Goddess. Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. Put a comment down so I can find out. If you know info about what's going on with Mugler fragrances, men's fragrances from Mugler, less exceptions, or even the ladies, you have some info, as I said, put it down in the comment section so I can find out. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. Glad you stuck around. I wanted to do a couple more sentences about the perfumers behind Alien Goddess. Marie Salamagne and Nathalie Lorson work for a firm called Firmenich, or Firmenich. So they are perfumers working under this organization, and brands contract them out. Both of the perfumers I really do respect and enjoy the releases from. But Nathalie Lorson, on the other hand, I really respect a lot more. I think she's done some amazing fragrances. Some of my favorite fragrances, some of my favorite designer fragrances she's done. Marie Salamagne, on the other hand, does all the fragrances for Atelier des Ors. She's also done fragrances like Mandarin Basilique from the House of Guerlain. She's done fragrances for L'Artisan Parfumeur, Histoires d'Orangers. So they both do some great work, and I'm so glad. I feel like when perfumers, when a brand hires a perfumer to do a fragrance and they bring on other perfumers, I feel like they don't do a very good job. You know, like some releases in the designer world, there's 4 perfumers, but damn, the fragrance turns out to be not very pleasant. Here, the 2 have worked really, really beautifully together, and they've done a great job with this fragrance. Also, going back to who the original perfumer for Alien is, Dominique Ropion of IFF. He did that fragrance. I think he did it on his own. There could be another perfumer. But occasionally, when I see multiple perfumers on one perfume, it's almost like too many ideas come in to kind of like destroy the the creativity kind of a thing. And I've seen it over and over and over again on fragrances when there's more than one perfumer. But I think here the 2 perfumers must have had similar idea, and they came up with the idea and they executed it very, very correctly. And with Mugler doing what they normally do is they do release some great releases, although they had better releases before. As of late, they haven't. But I think with their whole creative, the creative ideas that they have, their briefs and things, and with the execution of Marie Salamagne and Nathalie Lorson together, I think they've done a wonderful job. And that's why I feel like I should highlight the perfumers. And even though I always say, don't blame the perfumers, it's the brief or the brand that gives the perfumers what they want to create. But I think here the execution was all perfectly done with not only the perfumers but with also the brand themselves. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Alien Goddess for you today. I hope you are having a great day. Thanks so much.